In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make one of these little penguin appliques. I've used it on a card, but there are lots of different ways that you can use it. You can use it on cushions or blankets or cardigans, and it's a really simple applique to do. You are going to need some black yarn. Now I've used acrylic for this, but cotton would work just as well. You're going to need just a small amount of white and a small amount of yellow or orange, it's up to you. I've used a 3.5mm crochet hook. If you're working with cotton, you may wish to use a 3mm. You'll need a pair of scissors and a darning needle. And on this one, I've actually used some of those googly eyes, and I've just stuck those on with the glue gun at the end. So you're going to start off in white, and to start off with, you're going to make a magic circle. Now, if you're not sure how to make a magic circle, I do have a separate tutorial video for that, but go ahead and make your magic circle, and then you're going to chain 2. That's 1, 2. Okay. Now into the magic circle, you're going to create 12 treble crochets. Now that's a UK term. In the US, they are called double crochets. Your chain does not count. Okay, that's just your height chain. So you're going to create 12 treble crochets. So yarn over once, put your hook into the circle, yarn over, pull through. You've now got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 treble crochet. Don't include the chain. Now repeat that again. So yarn over into the centre, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2 treble crochets. And then go again, yarn over into the centre, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's now 3 treble crochets. Repeat that until you've got 12 treble crochets in your circle, and I'll meet you back there in a second. Okay, here is my magic circle with 12 treble crochet stitches in it. Remember, that's a US term, so it's 12 double crochet. Sorry, it's a UK term, it's 12 double crochet if you're working in US terms. Okay, pull your magic circle tight, as tight as you can do, and then you're going to slip stitch the first stitch. Now remember, we did chain 2 at the start, and you can just ignore that chain 2 and slip stitch the first treble, which is actually this one right there. Okay, so put your hook through, yarn over, pull through that stitch, and then through the hook loop on your hook as well. So that is your first round. So pull that middle one nice and tight so there's no gap in the middle. This time we are going to chain 2 again, and again that does not count as a stitch. And then into each of these stitches we're now going to place 2 treble crochets. So that means you will end up with 24 treble crochets on this way round. So yarn over, back into that first one where you currently are, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then do a second one into that same stitch. Now do the same in the next stitch along, this next one, 2 treble crochets into that one stitch. You can count them as you go, but it's quite easy to count them if you do lose track. Just don't count that starting chain, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Meet me back round once you've done 24 trebles. So once you've done 24 trebles in your circle, it should look similar to this. And you close off that second round by doing a slip stitch in the top of that first stitch. Remember to ignore those chains. So you go into the top of that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then just pull it through the loop on your hook as well. Okay, I like to do an extra chain 1 just because I think it helps to tie it off a bit easier, and then just pull a little bit through. You're going to finish your white yarn here, so you're just going to snip this off. Okay, and then continue to just pull it through, and pull it through nice and tight. Okay, and that's the white part of your penguin done. You're then going to take your black yarn and you're going to make a slip knot in the end of your black yarn. So again, there is a video tutorial to help you with this if you're not familiar with a slip knot. Okay, but once you've got your slip knot, put your hook into your yarn. I always go the one before where I finished, just because it tends to give a slightly nicer finish. And then grab your black yarn, pull that slip knot nice and tight, pull it through. If you then pull your black yarn through, that's chaining 1. Do it again to do a second chain. Now again, that chain does not count as a stitch. Now this time you're going to do a repeat of 2 trebles, 1 treble. So we start with 2 trebles in the same place where this black yarn has joined. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now black yarn is notoriously difficult to see, but thankfully you've only got 2 rounds of this, so it's not too bad. You want to put a second stitch in that one, so yarn over into the same place again, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through. Now if you joined in the same place as me, you'll find you've got a little bit to work in here. So this is the top of this stitch. I'm now looking for the top of this first stitch, so you've almost got to jump over that little bulge, that little gap. Okay, this time you're just going to put 1 treble in. And then the next one, which is here, you're putting 2 trebles in. And then 1 treble again, and you're going to repeat that all the way around. 2 trebles, 1 treble, 2 treble, 1 treble. I'll meet you back around the other side. Okay, so once you've done that all the way around, you will have 36 stitches now. Okay, so again, just ignore that chain 2 at the beginning, and you're going to slip stitch into the first stitch. Now, it is harder to see it in the black yarn. You almost have to sort of do a little bit of guesswork at where your stitch should be. Using a really good light will help. So slip stitch that first stitch. Now this next round is going to be making the wings. All right, so we'll chain 2, and then we are going to do a treble, UK treble, and a UK double double, which is a US treble, into the same stitch. So we'll do our treble first of all. And then to do a double double or double treble, you yarn over twice. Okay, so you just wrap the yarn round twice, go into the same stitch, and then yarn over and pull through. You're going to pull through 2, and then you've got 3 left. You're going to pull through 2, and then pull through 2 again. Okay. In the next stitch, you're going to do 2 of those double doubles. Okay, that's the US trebles. So put 2 of them into this next stitch. So that's 1 double double into the same stitch. And that's 2. Okay. Now into the next stitch, you're going to work 2 trebles, UK trebles. So that's where you yarn over once. One, 2. Okay, and you can see that the shape of the wing is starting to happen. In the next stitch, you're going to do 1 treble and then 1 half treble. So again, you're putting 2 stitches into the same stitch for each of these. So a treble, and then in the same stitch, a half treble, which is where you yarn over and pull through, and then you pull through all 3 loops at once. Okay. Now in the next 3 stitches, you're going to put 1 half treble in each. So the next stitch, 1 half treble, and then in the next stitch, 1 half treble, and then in the next stitch, 1 half treble. Now in the next one, you're going to then do a half treble and a treble in the same stitch again. So half treble first this time, then your treble in the same stitch, and then in the next one you're going to do a treble and a double double. So a treble, and then where you yarn over twice, okay, that's in the same stitch. And then you're going to do the reverse of that. So you're then going to do a double double and a treble. Got to get these the right way round so that you get the shape of it correct. So we're now doing the little head at the top. So it's in the same stitch, you've got double double and a treble. I call it a double double, but I don't know if that's quite right. Everybody seems to call that one something different. Now in the next one, again it's the reverse of the one before, so it's a treble and then a half treble. Treble and then a half treble. And that's where you pull through all 3 once. And then again 3 half trebles, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. So half treble in one, onto the next stitch, half treble in the next, onto the next stitch, half treble in the next. And here you can see our penguin is starting to take shape. We've got his head and one of the wings. We're just working down to the other wing now. In the next stitch, you're going to do a half treble and a treble. Half treble first, and then a treble in the same stitch. And then in the next one, 2 trebles. And then in the next one, 2 doubles where you're yarning over twice. And just remember with this one, you're just pulling through 2 loops at a time. And again another double double in the same stitch. And then it's a double double and a treble, so double double first in the next one, and a treble in the same stitch, and finally chain 2, just so that we end in the same way that we started the other side, and slip stitch again into that same stitch. Oh, sorry, I've just let me try that again. I pulled a bit too hard on my crochet hook and pulled it off. There we go. And then again I just chain 1 to close it off, pull a big loop through. I'm going to snip this off and then pull it through. Now that's our main shape of our penguin. Now you can take your darning needle now and sew in all of your ends. I mean, if you're sewing it onto something, you might need your ends to help sew it onto whatever you're sewing it onto, if it's a cardigan or something. But if you're doing it on a card or something like that, or you could add just a little hanging hook, quite good for the Christmas tree. But you might want to sew in your ends now, that's up to you. Then you're going to take your colour that you've chosen for your feet, whether that's orange or yellow, and we'll do our feet next. So now you're going to get your colour for your feet. I've got yellow this time, but on the last one I did orange. And you want to turn your penguin upside down. You can easily see where the centre is, and you're just going to go a couple of stitches to the side of the centre. I'm actually going to go sort of 3 to the side of the centre here. And then you're going to make a slip knot in your yellow or orange. You're going to loop it over your crochet hook and pull through, she says. And then you're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 4 chains. Now you're going to work a UK double crochet into the second chain. So you ignore the first one, you're going to work into the second chain. That's a US single crochet if you're working in US terms. Then you're going to put another double crochet, US single, into the next chain along. And another one into the last chain. You're then going to do a slip stitch into the next one along here. Okay, and then you're going to need to finish off that yarn as well. Although you can try and do a slip stitch along the back that isn't seen. I tend to just finish it off. Sorry, misplaced my scissors. Put it through, and then that's your little penguin leg there. And then you'll do the same in the next one along here. So take a bit of yellow, do a slip knot, this is where you can skip a couple of stitches and put your hook in again, loop it over, and then you're going to repeat the same thing again. So you're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Ignore the first chain, double crochet into the second, double crochet into the third, and double crochet into the fourth. You're then going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch along the penguin. Chain one and cut off your yarn. I've already sewn in my white and my black ends. You can then hide and sew in the yellow ends as well. And there you have your little penguin applique. I also use a little bit of this yellow yarn just to embroider a little beak at the top. I'll show you again on this one. So you've got a little beak here, there and there. That's just embroidered on with your darning needle. And then I've stuck on googly eyes, but I have seen people make eyes out of white and black felt as well. So anything that you've got at home that you can do. Good luck making your appliques. Can't wait to see what they go on.